Okay, beautiful people. It's your mentor, Tumelo JPY here. Welcome to today's video where we are going to be doing an Nzdcad market breakdown. So I'm just going to be taking you guys through how I went about trading Nzdcad for the past few weeks, right? So the first thing that I always advise my students to do and everyone to do is that, okay, before you even start analyzing, start by understanding the type of trend that you are introduced to, right? That's the first thing that I'm advising you guys to do. But now my analysis is based on 1 week. So I managed to see this thing here on a weekly time frame, right? So now the first thing that I do is that I start by identifying my swing points. My swing points being my lower high and lower low. Why? Because we all can see that we are pushing on a bearish structure of the market, right? We are creating a series of what? Lower high and lower low. The lower high being the top phase of the market, and then your lower low being the bottom phase of the market, right? So we know that every time we're on a downtrend, we consider ourselves with what? Strong highs, right? We consider ourselves with what? With strong highs, which means our high shall never be what? Be taken out. Price should not break our high and close above. The rules of a downtrend states that we always want to break our lows and respect or not take out our highs. But on our lows, we want to see price doing what? Taking out our lows always. As you can see that price takes out our low and then price takes out our low here. So now this is what we call a bearish order flow, price creating a series of highs and lows without breaking the rules of a downtrend, right? So now I want us to focus on this section here. So I'm just going to change this guy to a high, and then I want the bottom phase of the market to be what? To be my low, right? So now what I want us to focus on is that price is ranging in between this swing high and this swing low here. Let me just put this guy here, right? So now one thing you should always understand within the market is that whenever you find yourself with price ranging in between this zone here, always what I tell my students is that take your Fibonacci, you're gonna place it from your high to your low or from your low to your high, right? You wanna see something that is quite important, right? That now price have shifted from what? Price have shifted from a discounted zone, it passed our equilibrium and it went to our premium. You understand? We know that we're on a very structure of the market. Every time you find yourself on a very structure of the market, you wanna take your entry point based off what? The supply zone or your order block or your golden zone, right? Always your entry point must be above what? It must be above your equilibrium. That's price break and closes above our equilibrium. Yes, it does that, which means we are more than welcome to do what? To look for our selling opportunities within the market on the premium zone, right? So what we did is that, what I did actually, I took my Fibonacci and then this was my golden zone, right? So this was my golden zone. I'm just going to highlight the zone here. And then normally when I have my golden zone, I specifically look for specific candlesticks, right? I went to my daily time frame. When I go to my daily time frame, I saw this candlestick here, this unmitigated candlestick here, right? I saw this unmitigated candlestick here. I identified this guy here as my what? As my entry zone. You understand? So let's just go back to our weekly time frame. So we are looking for what? We are looking for selling opportunities within this guy here. Let us consider this guy here as our OB, put him at our center, right? So which means now for this order block to be valid, ladies and gentlemen, for you to consider this thing as a valid order block, my advice to you, always look for a confirmation entry point, right? People have a tendency of posting, telling people that, okay, this is how you identify the right order block. There's no one who can identify the perfect order block. The only time an order block can become perfect is when it has a confirmation, right? Sometimes confirmation price does respect it, sometimes price doesn't respect it. Instead, we should always allow ourselves to adapt to change, right? And then one thing that I did was that, okay, I went to my 4-hour time frame. Let's just go to a 4-hour time frame. When you go to a 4-hour time frame, we all can see that, okay, price tapped us in here beautifully so. And then the first thing that you want to look forward to is, let's just cut price here, right? Just want us to cut price there. So price does what? It goes and taps us in here, right? Price goes up and taps us in here. So what I want you guys to focus on is that we move to our what do you call this thing? Our hourly time frame. Price does what? It was on an uptrend. You understand? Price was on uptrend, creating a series of highs and lows. And then it was seems to be known that, okay, on an uptrend we break highs, not lows, and then we always respect our lows, right? So what happened was that, okay, we had what? We had all these guys here as as our lows. So these are our high low, our strong low, and then our next strong low. So when price taps us in here, so this means that, okay, now we are trending in between what? We are all trending in between this swing point here, this swing high. We're trading in between this swing high here and this swing low here, right? We're trading in between this low here. So like I said, on an uptrend, we have what? Weak highs and strong lows. We don't want to see price taking out this low here. But since when we tapped into our order block, our main focus is to see price doing what? To see price breaking this low here, creating a change of character, pushing to the upside, tapping us in, and then pushing to the downside to show us that, okay, all these lows that are accumulated by price here, they are what you call sell side trend line liquidity. Understand? So price needs to sweep everything there. So what does price do? Price pushes beautifully to the downside, and what does it do? It takes the low out. Once it takes the low out, what exactly are you gonna do? You are gonna start looking for your selling opportunities within the zone here. Understand? That's the zone that you wanna start looking for your selling opportunities, which means now you're gonna have this guy here as a change of character. This will be our first strong high on the berry structure that we're gonna be formulating here, right? So what does price do? Price impulses beautifully to the upside, taps everyone's in, and then push to the downside. Price starts to do what? Price starts to push to the downside. Okay, so we have that entry point there. So let's go back to our 4-hour time frame, right? Just gonna go back to our 4-hour time frame. That's how you catch your selling opportunities. That's how we manage to catch our selling opportunities, right? And then let's just allow price to move now. Something that I want to show you guys that is very important is that, okay, price does what? Price, it pushes to the downside, right? Creating a series of lows and highs. What do you see? There was our first strong high, and then we have a break at this low here, right? When you have a break at that low, this means that, okay, price should come and test somewhere within that level there. Let's just wait and see where price will test. Okay, price played around this zone a lot. So we're expecting price to do what? To come test that level there. Okay, let's see if price will come and test that level, right? So price impulses beautifully so, and that's what it comes and tests this level here. You understand? As you can see, this is the order block that we're supposed to use for this test here. Price comes and tests this level here, and then price does what? It will have to push to the downside, which means our take profit will definitely be where? Our take profit will definitely be at this low here. Let me just mark everything and make my chart look smart. So we are looking forward to seeing price taking out the sell side liquidity here, right? When I see price taking out the sell side liquidity here. So now price does what? It impulses to the downside and it ends up doing what? It ends up hitting our take profit, right? Price ends up doing what? Hitting our take profit. Okay, so now let's allow price to move and see what exactly we are gonna be expecting from it. Okay, so let me just pause price here. So automatically we consider ourselves with what? With a break within the zone here. And then by default, this is gonna be our newly formulated strong or strong high, right? So this means that, okay, price has to do what now? Price has to go up. Why? Because of we have a break of structure here, which means now price should come and test that level then from this swing high to the swing low. We have our fib as our entry point, and then we can just identify this guy here as our golden zone, right? And then one thing that I always tell people is that, okay, every time you find yourself on a berry structure, your premium, discounted, and equilibrium phase of the market. So the premium is where we are looking forward to taking our selling opportunities, because of that's where supply is in control, and then that's where technically supply has the right of pushing price to the downside. When we go to the equilibrium, we're expecting a price reaction and rejection, right? On the discounted phase of the market, let me just show you guys something here that can be useful to you guys. So if price is pushing like this, right? So price is trending in between this premium and then this discounted. Then let's say that at the zone here is our equilibrium, right? Every time price comes into the premium, we're definitely gonna look for a drop. Every time price passes at the equilibrium, we're gonna do what? We're gonna look for a reaction and rejection. But when price is at the discounted, how does price create the discounted phase of the market? Price create a discounted phase of the market by doing what? By creating a change of character or a shift of market structure. So which means we either gonna receive what? A change of character model or a shift of market structure, right? you're gonna receive a shift of market structure. So these two guys, they are definitely responsible for what? For changing price from pushing to the bearish side to pushing to the bullish side, so that price can go and respect our order block that is found within our premium zone. This is grade 1 stuff, right? So what exactly can you see within the markets, right? Let me just show you what I'm talking about. Price does what? It continued to push on a very structure, giving us all these beautiful breaks here at our lows. So we had this break here, and then we have another break here, right? The rules and properties of a downtrend. We break lows and not highs, right? So which means when price takes out a high, expect a charge or a shift of market structure. What does price do here? It takes this low out, this high out, right? Creating what? A change of character, which means now this low here gonna be our first strong low. So which means now let me just identify this guy here as our low. We can identify this guy here as our low, and then we can identify him as our high, right? Just want us to identify him as our high. So which means now if you take a fib from your low to your high, right, you can identify the zone here. You can identify the zone here as your what? As your golden zone, right? You wanna take your buying, we call this thing a buy to sell model. So you're gonna take our buying opportunities from this zone to this supply level here. So we take our buys on the demand zone to push price to our supply zone, right? Let's see what price does. Price pushes to the downside, price taps us in, and then price ends up doing what? Pushing impulsively to the upside. And then let's just see what happens. Price tapped into our order block. When it tapped into our order block, there was the beautiful reaction to the downside. You understand? There was that beautiful reaction to the downside. You understand? It's a simple thing. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It's just a simple thing. Now let's continue with price, right? Teaching you guys something that is very valuable. What did price do here? It ended up taking out this high out, right? And then this low here becomes a strong low. So which means here this guy was mitigated, and then this will be here. This will be our strong low. And then let's just have him like this. And then we're gonna have a strong low, right? We're gonna have this strong low, and then what exactly do we have here? We have this break here at the top, and then at this zone here, this means that okay, we are trading in between this high. Sorry about that. We are trending in between this high. We are trending in between this high. We are also trending in between this low here, right? Let me just remove this guy here. But the low at the moment, what we wanna see is the low being taken out, right? That's the first thing we all should know. We wanna see this low being taken out. You understand? Which means if price fails to take this low out, there must be a supply zone here that can push price to the downside. You understand? But if price is to take this high out, this means that okay, this order block would be valid. So what happened was that okay, one of my friends, he goes by the name of his name TK on Instagram. I saw him. That was a beautiful trade he took on Nzdcad. He went, I think he went to M5. Since well, he knew that okay, there must be an order block at the zone here, right? He knew that okay, there must be an order block. Let me just show you what I'm talking about. He knew that okay, there must be an order block within the zone here. So which means price was not supposed to take this low out. He was definitely right. You understand? So let's consider him as our X. So what he did was that okay, he managed to scale in within this level here. So let me just cut this candle here. And then let's go to our 5 minutes time frame, right? So what he did at the zone here was that okay, he only looked for what? For a confirmation entry point. How do you look for your confirmation entry point? You look at the type of trend that you are in, right? You look at the type of trend that you are in. So price will, it was on a bearish trend. How can you see that? It came down breaking lows, right? And then formulating what? Strong highs. It came down breaking lows and formulating what? Strong highs. This is our strong high, and then this will definitely be our strong high. But here price does what? It takes this high out, creating what? A change of character. You understand? It creates what? A change of character. I think from this guy to this guy. Okay, we can see that okay, this is the candlestick that is identified. We can identify that candlestick also as our entry model. So he took his buying opportunities of this guy here, right? He took his buying opportunities of that guy. So I think we all can see that okay, here price did not respect our golden zone. It did what? It respected this order block. So if you took that -1 on that golden zone, always advise go for your order block afterwards, as it will hold price. As we can see that okay, price does what? It impulses beautifully to the upside, right? So that's how he managed to catch the buys. So when he took the buys, I was like, no, the buys are valid, and then they're quite good. But what am I looking for? I'm still on the fact that okay, we've respected this order block here. We've just respected this order block, so which means we must come and break this low out here. So as you can see, he made a lot of profits. He made a lot of profits with this guy pushing to the upside. And then I went to my smaller time frame. On my smaller time frame, I think I used this guy here as my order block, right? I think I used this guy here as my order block. And then using him as my order block, I was like, okay, since I have a structure like this, I'm looking forward to seeing price doing what? I'm looking forward to seeing price pushing to the downside. Just from this zone here, I'm gonna start looking for my selling opportunities. So I went to my, I think it was a 5-minute time frame to look for my confirmation entry point, right? When price stepped into my zone, I was like, okay, cool. I have a break at this low here, at this high. I have another break at this high here also. I have all these breaks here. And then I knew that okay, I had this low here as my what? As my strong lows because of what? I was on an uptrend. And then as you all can see that okay, price does what here? Instead of respecting this low, it takes this low out, creating what? A change of character. When it creates a change of character, definitely we knew that okay, oh, now we should take our selling opportunities of this zone here. So which means this is where I started trading now. This is where I started trading. So I took my selling opportunities from this zone here. So I'll just remove these guys here because of when we move to a bigger time frame, they won't be as good as they are on a smaller time frame. So my selling opportunities were from this zone here. My selling opportunities were from this zone here. So let me just call. So my selling opportunities were from that zone, not from the order block trade, because I'm more of a confirmation type of individual. So my take profit definitely at the low, right? My take profit was at that low. So let's go back to our 4-hour time frame. So my selling opportunities were from, let me just increase this thing because now it's gonna, but unless if I go to a 2-hour time frame, okay, still activated. 1 hour, okay, an hour is still playing. So now I took my selling opportunities and then price that what did what? It pushed to the downside and it did what? It hit my take profit. Mind you, what we want to see price do is what? We want to see price taking out this low here. As you can see, all the breaks, they are weak. So which means the break is not valid. Understand? Which means the breaks are not valid. We want to see price taking out this low here with what? With a full candlestick. So price does what? It finally takes out what? It finally takes out the low. You understand? Price finally takes out the low. When price takes out the low, it's a quite simple one. So what I did here was that okay, we know that okay, here we're gonna have what? We're gonna have our change of character, which means we are gonna look forward to seeing price coming back to our golden zone, which is gonna be definitely at this high. So what is this thing here? What is this format of trading? It's called an SMS, a shift of market structure. You understand? Price respected our order block, but failed to take a high out and took the low out. There's a difference between an order block and a shift of market structure. Here, quite easy. What I did was that okay, I took my volume profile from this high to this low here, and then I looked for my point of control. From there, I knew that okay, if I were to use this guy here as my break of this low here, if I were to use this guy here as my break of the low, and then mind you, I still have to go up to this golden zone here, but I managed to take these selling opportunities also. So this will be my high, and then this will definitely be my low, right? This will be my low. This will be my low. So which means if I take my fib from my high, my low, this is where I'm gonna look forward to taking my selling opportunities. Just taking entry points on a blind spot of the market, right? Blind spots. So price does what? It impulses beautifully so. And what does it do? It taps us in on our golden zone. And then we ended up pushing to the downside to do what? To hit our take profits, right? So we took the selling opportunities here also. And then so this was our high that is supposed to be strong. We have a low that was just taken out. And then we have a newly formulated high here, right? And then what happened was that, okay, now we're going to start looking forward to seeing what? We're going to start looking forward to seeing price creating a new low. So this was our new low here. So this was our new low, right? So now what do? We take off our entry points using an order block. So let's just use him as our order block, right? We're gonna use this guy here as our order block. What does price do? It misses our order block, and that's what it pushes impulsively to the upside and taps us in. When price taps us in, let's see what happens. Price takes us out, right? Just wanna show you guys this moment here. when price takes us out. So price took us out here. I think it was fundamental because we can see by the length of the candlestick. So when price created this thing, I remembered that, oh, we still have what? The shift of market structure. What a block. If you take this guy from this high to this low, you'll see why price turned there. So this was the zone that I was expecting price to come to, right? Using the overall thing. So I had to take a loss here to verify that, okay, this guy won't be, because I think I locked my profit somewhere within the zone here. So when I took a negative, I think it was a break even. If you check this guy on a smaller time frame, I took a break even trade, and then price ended up doing whatever it needed to do. And then I took my selling opportunities now using my golden zone. So from this golden zone, I knew that, okay, sales are valid. And then, yeah. So far, how many sales we have? We have him as our selling opportunity here. Have him as our selling opportunity. And then we just took a -1 on the other one. And then we have him also as our selling opportunity, which means when we swing him, we're gonna see him doing what? Coming straight to our low now. We're gonna see him coming straight to our low. Right? You're gonna see him coming straight to our low. So let's see what price does afterwards. Price pushes beautifully to the downside, and then price ends up doing what? Price ends up hitting our take profit. Price ends up hitting our take profit. When price hits our it ended up hitting our take profit here, as you all can see. And then what do we have here? We have this guy here as our break, right? We have this guy here as our break. We have this guy here as our, so mind you, we are doing what you call a counter trending. Understand? We are counter trending this guy. So this is our high, and then this is our first low. Yeah, this is our second high actually, because this is our first high, second high, and then the first low here. And this will be our second low. Okay, so let's see what price does afterwards. Price passes beautifully to the upside, and then this is what it currently did. And then for those that wanted to take their selling opportunities, if you take your volume profile from your high, where is that high? From this high here to this low here. So this is where we have volume, right? When we have the volume, you look for a high above that volume. We have this guy here as our high, right? And then what exactly do we have here? We have this guy here as our low, right? We have this guy here as our low. When we have him as our low, what exactly came into our mind is that, okay, we had a break of structure here, as you can see. Here, the internal one, not the overall one. Then the overall one price has to come and test somewhere within even this order block here, right? We had this one here as our internal break of structure. And then if you take your Fibonacci from this high to this low here, you'll see that, okay, price taps us in where? Beautifully so at our golden zone, right? Price taps us in beautifully so at our golden zone. So we have another scale down trade. So it's still scaling down within this guy here. So let's see where I can close my profits here. I think this one, it was fine here. If you took that trade, that's where you're gonna conclude this guy here. So yeah, beautiful people, that's how I went about trading this guy. Overall thing that we all know is that, okay, on a weekly time frame, we're still targeting to see price coming to this low here. So which means there are still gonna be more selling opportunities that you're gonna find within the markets here. Keep your eye on this guy, and then yeah, wishing you guys nothing but a profitable week.